Give me good things to say. Give me good things to see. Give me good things to think. I release all the negative energy. I release all the negative energy. I release all the negative energy. My uplifted and fierce ancestors, skilled healers, lovers, protectors, providers, I invoke you to stand with me. I am Kara, child of Norma and Rufus. Be with me in this moment and guide me along my road with a cool head and a clear mind. Because I am root of your root, and I am soil of your soil. I am bone of your bone, and I am blood of your blood, and I am flesh of your flesh. Not deaf to my serene cries, nor blind to my honest supplications, but keep the gift of perfect health, wealth, and prosperity, love and abundance close to me, so that I may grow and honor your legacy. I have not forgotten my commitment to our lineage, and I vow never to forget. And so it is, so be it, so mote it be, so be it, it is done. Ashe, 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 ashe. Hi everyone, I'm back with a part 2. I ran out of space. I had to do some things to get back here. I'm still nervous. This is my second video. And I just want to give a disclaimer before I start because I see that that is necessary. I just want to disclaim that I am not here to provoke anger, encourage, steer anybody down the wrong path, influence, just lead anyone astray as to what I do. I'm here because of the Jesus agenda, and I was led to give my testimony. This is why I'm here. I'm not here to offend anyone the way that Jesus offended my life. I'm just here to share my story, my testimony, for someone out there that is looking for my story and my testimony. Okay, now that I got that out the way, I just want to start off where I left off. When I was telling you that I didn't know the time frame from when I had asked him if something happened to my leg, would he leave me? I was led to ask him, if something happened to my leg, would he leave me? And he told me, no, he would never leave me. And this I did not believe. Shh. Okay. But we had already cremated our first child. We had had our second child, which was 2 pounds. So you know all the complications that came with that. We had our third child cremated, and we were on our fourth child, who was just a little over 2 pounds and something. And yeah. We had just had that child. He was a preemie as well. Before I just got stopped by Spirit. Before I start, I just want to invite Spirit in with me, to surround me, to protect me, to share their knowledge and wisdom with me in this present moment in time. I just had to do that real quick. That's what caught my mind, my thought. Okay, so we had just had our fourth child. Life was hectic for me, through all that. That was a lot of trauma, And before I even get started on that, I just want to go back to say that I just found out in these recent years that I am a Heoka empath. And throughout my whole life, I've had to endure obstacles that other people I know have never had to endure. I had a rough life because of the chosen path that I'm on. And back then, I didn't know why I was having that rough life. But now, today, I can understand where everything played a part. And so, as a child, I never met my father, still to this day. You know, um, I was violated by a family member, but I still, to this day, don't hold a grudge. I love him. I love that family member dearly. Um, with all forgiveness, talk to him with laughs, like nothing ever happened. You know what I'm saying? As a teenager, even in school, I was violated, and didn't know that I was supposed to tell, you know. Things like that weren't discussed. You understand me? You know. And so that happened in school, grade school. You know, as a teenager, I chose different paths that put me in rough situations because I chose to be a giver, a protector, and just uh, someone who looked over everybody because that's who I am. A Heoka empath is one who heals, you know, and loves. So that's what I've been doing all my life. You know, after running around as a teenager, my mom left. She got a new life. She found a new life. She wanted us to come with her. But me being a teenager, a pregnant teenager, knowing that her dude had some kind of interest in me, I chose to stay in an abusive relationship for 6 years. And the abuse was tough because it wasn't just no minor abuse. It was serious abuse. I was hit with 4x4s. I was choked often. I still can't wear things too close around my neck to this day. I had flames thrown on me, fire flames thrown on, just a lot of abuse. I, as a dark-skinned melon woman, walked around with black eyes. I have scars in my lips from busted lips, So that abuse was rough with two young babies. And I say that to say this, still today, I hold no grudge. I love that man dearly. Just last month, he was in my house putting our grandbabies' bikes together. You know, that's just the love that I give. And going back to, I had, really extreme life. I was a stripper. I was a trafficker, dope trafficker. I was a dope trafficker, And in this time of all this happening, I didn't believe in Jesus. I knew that there was a God. I don't know if I even called him God at this time still. but I knew that there was something over me or in me or watching me or something, right? So getting back to being with excuse me, being with my second set of kids' father. After we had the baby, life was hectic. All four of the kids, the two girls and the two boys, the two baby boys, caught pneumonia. So three of them was in one hospital and one of them was in another hospital. The newborn was they had transferred him. So we were running back and forth to hospitals, and I was just real exhausted, wore out, just you know torn to pieces, basically. And we were in the basement of a hospital, and I fell backwards on my spine. And when I got up, I was fine. You know, they wanted to check me. I was fine. I just instantly shot back up like nothing even happened. They wanted to check me. I was like, no. Um, uh, they wanted to check me. I was like, no, I'm fine. Everything's fine. I just want to go home. Okay, 2 days went past. 2 days. I woke up and I could not walk. Completely. Completely. Could not walk. I would try to walk and I would fall flat on my face. And this went for a long time, to where they shoved me with a gang of pills. I was getting shots that was paralyzing me for a day just to take away pain. I was on all kind of pain pills. I had found out I was diagnosed with lupus, neuropathy, fibromyalgia, just a gang of different diseases that they say, that they diagnosed me with. So I was really going through a rough time. And how they say they found out that I had lupus is the scar on my face. I have a half a butterfly. Usually they say lupus people, they get a half a butterfly or they get a whole butterfly. I just got one wing. Thank goodness. But that one wing set me back 3 years. I locked myself in the house for 3 years and he fed me pain pills, doped me up, made sure I was taking these pills on the clock while he roamed the streets, while my girls took care of our babies. Rough. Till the doctor told me one day, and at this point in time, I was mad at God. I was mad at God because of all the things that was going on. I didn't even claim him as Jesus at that point because I just didn't. But I was mad at the God that everybody said was, because of all this crap that I was enduring. So, okay. Doctors told me if I don't get out of this wheelchair, I'm never going to walk again. And so I got myself out that wheelchair. And when I first learned how to walk again, without therapy, without doctors, without anything, just me and my mind, my protective source, and that's all it was. But when I first started walking, I was walking like an infant. How they first start walking, trying to, that's how I would walk. And sometimes I would fall to my face and, I just get up and do it again, till I got myself out that wheelchair. By this point in time, it's 3 years. Um, Kids is getting bigger. He's still acting a fool, and he finally left me. Couldn't stick around no more, couldn't handle it. It wasn't strong enough. So he left me. Okay, so I'm out the wheelchair. I'm doing my thing. I'm finding me again. I'm getting healthier. I'm getting stronger. I'm on a walker. I am just getting stronger, and still taking them shots. To thinking that I needed them to walk. Still with just me and my 4 kids, just being strong, still with good positive energy. Every time a negative thought would come to me in that time and period in my life, good things would pop into my head. I knew how to manifest good things at that time, but I didn't know that I was manifesting at the time. You see what I'm saying? Even I was, my psychic abilities, my foretelling, it was strong, like strong. So strong the kids stay mad at me because I knew what they was doing before they was doing it. I knew what other people was doing before they was doing it. I was able to tell friends, don't do this, don't do that before they did it. This gonna happen, this gonna happen. If you listened, you listened. If you didn't, you didn't. You know what I'm saying? And so I was content. I mean, living life. You know what I'm saying? I had some, times where we moved into a new neighborhood and had to show the neighborhood, which was the 40s at the time, that we weren't punks. You feel me? So, being a spiritual warrior that I am, and I just want to give a shout out to all the spiritual warriors, for having courage to even make a video, to even share your testimony, to even want to, be a standout, because we all are standouts, because we all are weird and crazy, deemed, as they say. But I just wanted to commend you, all of you, because that takes strength and that takes courage, So, back to the story. Excuse me. Long story short, I stayed whooping ass in the 40s. Spiritual warriors, we do that. Disabled and all. One day I'll tell you about those stories, but I don't want to take too much time. I want to get to the real deal. You know what I'm saying? So, at this point, I'm content. I'm back on my feet. I done manifested me a car. We in a nice house. We stable. Money flow just flowing. You know what I'm saying? Just living nice. You know what I'm saying? And then, boom. No. My grandmother tells me. I go and see my grandmother for the last physical time that I seen her. And she tells me, the reason why you're like that is because God is punishing you. And you need to get in church. You need to repent. You need to do what's right. And I love my grandmother so much. I know her soul as well because she is with me. And so I was like, okay, Grandma. And when she passed, that's what really did it, because in my life, I've always had, 3 fears. One, way back as a kid, dying. Like, as a kid, why would I have that fear of dying as a kid? Then I had the fear of losing my mother, and I did, and as a teenager. And then I had the fear of losing my grandmother. And I did. And so it was like, oh, when she died, the day she died, is like her spirit came through me. And when her spirit came through me, I was like, okay, I'm gonna do everything that I need to make my life right and to get right with this God. You feel me? Like, because I'm like, okay, maybe I did do something wrong to be the way that I am. But I'm gonna tell you about that too. And so I started looking for a church. And I just so happened to be in the laundromat, and met a young lady. She said she attended a church, and her apostle was good, and I should come check her out. So I'm like, okay, because I was looking for a church, and and I started getting into the church, and tithing, and I even went to the apostle and told her, I smoke weed. This is what I do. I don't want to offend the church or any of that, but I need this to get by. You know what I'm saying? And she was like, okay, it's no problem. That's what you need. I just wanted to be honest stepping into this church because I'm an honest type of person. I'm not finna sugarcoat anything. And so um so I got into the church, and then I got sick. And I didn't attend for a long time, but I was still sending my tithes in the mail. But I'm like, I'm sending my tithes in the mail. Nobody's calling to check on me. Nobody's coming to check on me. And that just made me feel strange, because I always thought that they came to check on you. You know what I'm saying? And they were all about Jesus, 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 this, Jesus, 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 the name of Jesus, the love of Jesus, 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 Jesus. And so, and so, okay, let me. And so I went back to the church, and I seen that people were jealous of me. They knew how much I was tithing. They knew the apostle was, taken to me because I was such a tither. You know what I'm saying? They was getting jealous. I could feel the spirits, the evilness. I could see the bickering between the ladies, because it was basically a woman's church. It wasn't too many men up in there at all. Apostle had a husband, but nobody else really had a husband. You see what I'm saying? And so women bickering back and forth, and I was, getting real cool with that. So one day, a picture just popped up on Facebook, and it was disturbing to me to see the apostle in that kind of image. And after that, I just left it alone, because my spirit let me know at that moment, which I was already feeling, that this is not right for me. For me, you know what I'm saying? But the picture that I seen, it showed a true image of a demonic person. And I don't know if anybody else's eyes seen it, but my eyes seen it. So I just left that church alone, and I said, I'm going to find me another church. And I was really eager to find me another church. And so I was going to seek some help for a lawyer, right? And this dude that I was going to seek the help from, I had met a couple of years back from seeking help from him before. and paying him for the help that he did not help me with. I just have to put that out there. You know what I'm saying? I was the one that went to court. I was the one that fought my case twice. For me, 3 times. For me and for my babies. Okay. And so um when I went to get some help with the paperwork the last time, he let me know that, I noticed that something was different about him. He let me know that he was a pastor now and he had a church, and he wanted me to, check it out. So I said I was looking for a church, and, I'll check it out one day. And so I did. I went. I liked it, because I didn't, just me stepping into church. Like, I thought it was different from the last church. Maybe I'll get comfortable in this church. Maybe this church would be for me. It was a non-denominational church. It seemed to me like that was a little bit better, And so, at the time too, I was also lonely, and I was manifesting at the time, but I did not know that that's what I was doing. But I had manifested this man, this pastor, and me being a first lady, because I said if I was going to be in the church, I wanted to be active in the church. And so I manifested me being a first lady. And so it came to that, me being his first lady. And at that point, before I became his first lady, he had a packed full congregation. Excuse me. A packed full congregation. I mean, it was full. It had men in it, but it had plenty of women in it, because plenty of women was looking for to marry this single pastor. And this newbie that just walked in the door lucks up to be able to marry this single pastor, which is me. Ugh. The things I manifest. and so, yeah, so I married the man. We ran off. We got married. Everything before we got married, it was perfect. It was fine. Um, uh, it, it was like a dream come true. Me finding a pastor, and him being a prestige, and him having an office and a business to a pastor on Sunday. I just thought I had what I wanted. You know what I'm saying? We ran off when we got married, and after that, that was that. I couldn't even get that man to buy me roses on my wedding day. And this is the first time I ever mentioned that. But I was getting into the church. I was getting into the field. I was getting into I love Jesus. You know what I'm saying? I was getting into it because I had put my whole heart into it. I knew that I loved Jesus at the time. But at the time, I had started feeling like Jesus didn't love me. I didn't feel Jesus. In every situation that came about, Jesus was never there. It was always the devil. And it was, we moved to a big house, to where we are still today here. We moved to a big house. We had his ex-wife's child, which was a demon seed, and put me and my family through hell each day that we lived with him. And the pastor knew this. The pastor was a demon seed. I had to find that out on my own. I had to live the life of a first lady to find out how demonized the pastor was. You know, uh, he was a drunk, and people shun me today because I talk about who he was after he died. I am not finna sugarcoat anyone who was not a good person after they transition. What for? You were not good when you were here, so I'm not finna make like you were good while you're gone. So, basically, he put my life through hell. 4 years, he put my life through hell. For 4 years, I kept telling him, I came in telling him, the Spirit told me, which I didn't know that it was me foretelling the, the future. The Spirit told me to tell you, you only got 3 years to get your shit together, or you gonna lose this church. And mind you, within that 3 years, everything went. So within that 3 years, I took hell through from the congregation. They hated me. They wouldn't call me first lady. They wouldn't let me sit by him. They shunned my family. They fell off. They stopped tithing. It was so much evil. They bickered and argued over food. They stole things from the church, but they loved Jesus though. You know, it was so much. They stole equipment from the church. Then they left the church. They would come back to the church. They would borrow all kind of money from him. He would just give them money. They were crackheads, dope heads, all of the above. Because he was a social security advocate, so he knew all kind of, you know what I'm saying. Him himself was an ex crackhead, which I did not know this in the beginning. That's why it's best, you just find things out. But it was my path to go the way it did, and I do not regret a thing. Let me let you know. Not one thing. But let me hurry up, because so, So 3 years is going by. Me and my family is going hell. I'm not finna divorce him because they say in the Bible, don't divorce. It say be submissive to your husband. Do this, do that. In the beginning, I was being submissive to him. I was really being submissive to him until I found out he was a fake and he was a phony. You know, before we got married, I was enjoying his sermons, this, that, and the other. He was preaching so well. He knew the word, this, that. He was on point. He was on key. After we got married, he fell off. You know why? Because he couldn't watch other people's sermons while I was married to him. He couldn't do it anymore. He couldn't show me that that's how he was getting his fame and his glory. 1 second. It had literally got to the point where I had to lay hands on some of the church members, for trying to just attack me. You know what I'm saying? I had to protect myself. I kept telling the pastor, and I always called him the pastor. I don't know why I always called him the pastor, but I always called him the pastor. I never called him anything else but the pastor. And so, even my kids, just the pastor. And so, yeah, literally going through hell. Literally, none of my friends that were into Jesus would visit my church. Nobody supported me. Nobody even, a lot of people, I could feel the jealousy. They act like they were happy, but they really weren't happy for me. When they were happy was when, yeah. Okay. And so 3 years had went by, and the house has started getting real evil. Real evil. Like you could hear the spirits walking around. You could feel the negative energy in the air. You can just feel the cracks of the doors. You know, all that shit you see on TV. You could feel it up in here with a pastor so loving Jesus. You feel me? And his biggest fear was he don't want to die alone. You know, and he always would play what is that? How you do it? Cry wolf. You know, because he knew that's how much I loved him. You know, I would drop anything. Oh, babe, I'm sick. I'm having this. My chest hurt. This, that, the other. You know, because he was an older man. You know, for some reason, because I'm an old soul, I guess I'm attracted to older men. But I am attracted to older men, and I don't see nothing wrong with that. You know, that's my preference. But he was an older man, so you know, he had already been through some complications, you know, already had a heart attack. You know, I didn't know all of this, but, you know, it had to get deeper and deeper, you know. But, so he worried me, you know what I'm saying? I lost my hair, I lost my teeth, you know, he really broke my body down, you know. I was possessed. Let me not forget this. I was possessed. He had me under some kind of spell. And I tell my friends this and they look at me like I'm crazy, but this is what I know because I am not crazy. Understand me. I was possessed. Whatever he would call on, whatever, he put me under some kind of spell. I thought I was pregnant for 2 years in a freaking fucking row. My stomach was growing, all of the above. You feel me? People was looking at me crazy, but I would not back down to as what I believed in my head because I was under a fucking spell. Mind you, a Jesus spell. Stop playing. You feel me? And so, I can't be too long with this, but let me get to this part. Before a month before, you know, the church started going down, it was so much evil. You know, I was in charge of worship and praise. Every time I'm worshiping praise and they cutting off the microphone on me, you know, but I was bringing in the spirits, the drunken spirits and all that. When I was singing, they would come in off the streets to hear me. Mind you, you feel me? This is how much I was really loving Jesus. You feel me? And I was anointing people's heads. And when I would anoint people's heads, my hand would shake like, you know, but at the time I didn't know that it was transferring energy. You feel me? And the people would tell me, I feel this. I feel this. You feel me? But the other apostles that had been there for years wouldn't even freaking anoint people's heads. And so that's how deep and I was into loving Jesus. I was just going to do the right thing. My friends was like, oh, you all in it. You when you do something, you go in it. You in it. You in it. I was in it. I was in it so bad that I was being abused, you know, and I said I was not going to divorce this man. I married this man. We're going to stick it out. I'm going to change his ass, you know, and with him trying to make me evil and me trying to make him righteous, you know, it was killing him. You feel me? I had stopped being submissive. I had stopped going to church for about almost a year before he died. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't do it no more. I couldn't lie. You lying to the people. You getting drunk before you even go to church. You drinking 50 bottles of wine throughout the week. You on the bus stop like a wino. You hearing ghosts. You talking to spirits. You're just doing too much. You feel me? So I could not be submissive and go to these people and lie in their face. You feel me? He deemed me to bring a sermon in for Mother's Day. And he was mad at me because I didn't ask him for any help. He was mad at me because I knew how to interpret the Bible and go back and find the scriptures that match up with what. Even though I was not a wizard with that Bible, I was just a newbie to the Bible, but I could interpret the Bible. You feel me? And he was mad. And so I brung the house down that day. And he was mad. And so after that, I just stopped going to church. Me and my whole family, everything. I had my family in it. Like, we gonna do this together. We a family. We all got baptized together. All that. When we went up under that water, we went down one way, and when we came up out that water, we came out the same fucking way. You feel me? Like, nothing changed. Okay. So a month, like I said, I was in hell. In hell. So, a month before he died, I kept saying, I smell death. I smell death. I smell death. And I just knew that it was my dog baby, because he had been living for over 20 years. And I just knew he was about to die. And I kept telling my husband, I smell death. I smell death. And the spirits told me, go off social media. Leave everybody alone and just tend to this man. Convince this man to change his ways, to stop living the lie that he is living. And for a whole month, I kept drilling him. You gotta change. You gotta wake up tomorrow being a different person. You gotta have positivity. You gotta stop lying. You gotta do this. You gotta do that. You gotta eat healthy. You gotta do this. You gotta do that. You gotta stop drinking. You gotta this, that, the other. You gotta do it. And he wouldn't do it. To so bad that he was just hanging out on the bus stops, drinking like a wino. And that's how I caught him. Hanging on the bus stops, drinking like a wino. I'm walking to the store and this Negro on the bus stop. Like a fucking wino. You a whole pastor. For real? But anyways. And so, let me tell you, I was really upset at Jesus at this time, because I'm like, and at this time I'm telling him, it ain't no Jesus. This Jesus, this shit we doing, this is a lie. I don't feel it. You can't tell me what it is. It ain't. And he knew that I had some kind of power. He was kind of scared of me. He was not kind of, he was scared of me. He was scared of me, and he let it be known that he was scared of me. And because he couldn't understand it. He couldn't understand it. He thought he was the powerful one. You feel me? And so, let me hurry up. So, the day he died. No, but before that, I kept telling him, you gon' die, and if you don't stop, you gonna die, and I'm not gonna have to live like this forever. I'm a chosen one. I'm being looking out for. My life is gonna be better. I'm not gonna always have to live like this. I'm not gonna always have to take this torture, because he would get drunk and he would abuse me. He would scratch me up, all kind of shit. He would just all kind of shit. He would really abuse me that I was taking while I'm supposed to be pregnant. That he kept telling me, "Oh, you pregnant, babe." The day he died, we got into an argument or whatever. No, a couple of days before he died, I looked at him. I'm like, "Are you okay?" He came out to the car and he looked at me like he was never going to see me again. And he looked at me like as if he wanted to say sorry. You know what I'm saying? He knew he was dying. And I knew he was dying, but I did not know it was him that was dying. You know what I'm saying? I knew somebody was about to die. You know what I'm saying? And the day he died, we got into a massive argument. I told him, I cannot do this anymore. I don't want to do this anymore. This is not how I want to live my life. He was mad because it was a Saturday and he had to go to church and preach that next Sunday. He didn't want to. So he was mad. And so, and so, and so it was family day. I'm taking the kids out. Forget it. We going out. I got my grandkids. We going to Dave and Buster's. We gonna have a good time. He calling me talking about he hot. He can't breathe. He can't do this. He always crying wolf. And I told him, don't do that. You one day you gonna be sorry because I'm not gonna believe you. And that was the day I didn't believe him. I'm out with my kids. My kids are enjoying themselves. You always pull this bullshit. So I'm like, okay, we gonna round it up about an hour, I believe, later. Okay, we gonna round it up and go check on this man. Honey, I tell you, by the time I got home, got up them stairs and came to this room, flipped that Negro over, eyes busting out of his head, tongue hanging to his mouth like he was scared to fucking death. They had came and got him. And I kept telling his ass, change your ways or they gonna come get you. I kept telling him, you gonna leave me, you gonna die, you gonna leave me broke, and I'm gonna be fighting over your body with your kids that I did not know. I kept trying to tell him, introduce me to your kids, let me get to know your kids, but those kids didn't want to know me because I was the same age as those kids. You feel me? I understand that. But after he died, they accused me of murder. The church, literally, I was under investigation for murder. The church shunned me. You know, they took his body from me. It was like something out of a fucking Lifetime movie with all these people praising and worshiping Jesus. Where was their Jesus when they was doing all of this to me? Nobody came and checked on me. They just said I killed their pastor. I wanted him for his money that he did not have. You know, all this nonsense that Jesus take you through. You know, this Jesus took my life through hell. Through hell. And the day that man died, I was released. I was freed. You know what I'm saying? I was freed from the bondage, the trap, the box. You feel me? A couple of weeks later, my stomach went down. Just totally flat. And I kept telling my friends, that's not no coincidence. I was under a spell. You know, I was happy that the man was dead. People was looking at me because I was laughing. Like, I told his ass. You feel? There's no apologies. I told him. I even had to banish him from the house after he died because he was scratching me up still in my sleep because he was so fucking angry because he found out what I said was true. His kids was going to do what they did and they was just after his money that he didn't have. You feel me? That's my Jesus story. Jesus took me through the fucking ringer. You feel me? And after that, I went to Yahshua. I found out Yahshua was the same fucking thing as Jesus. You feel me? And after that, I just started researching, finding this, finding that, to where I came to spirituality. You know, the ancestor altars, you know, the crystals, the sun gazing. If you look at the sun, you'll see that the sun is truly black. You'll see that the sky is truly red. If you look at the moon, you'll see that the moon, there's a blue moon behind the moon. You'll see magical things in the sky. When you get in tune with yourself, with nature, with the source, the one, the all. You feel me? Spirituality is self-love. You know, I'm a Heyoka empath, and I would love other people instead of myself. Spirituality taught me to love me, to put me first. I don't have to put others first to feel wanted. You feel me? Or whatever I was trying to feel, or just trying to always having to help people. That's not what I have to do. I mean, that's what I came here to do. I'm a healer, I'm a lover, but me first. And then them is what I was taught by spirituality. You feel me? It's go at your own pace. Go at your own mood. Whatever feels good for you. Whatever feels right for you on the inside. That's what spirituality is. You feel me? You know, the skulls, I love skulls. It's a sign of life. You feel me? It's not a sign of death. And there's nothing demonic about spirituality. There's nothing demonizing spirituality. It's all life, love. It's living in the moment. It's manifesting. It's finding your true, authentic self. It's finding your spirit guides, your guardian angels, your archangels, your dark angels. It's about light. It's about dark. It's about true life. It's about reality. It's about learning that the dreams is really the spiritual world. You feel me? It's about the life that they don't want you to know about. It's about the life that they've been covering up. You know what I'm saying? All this masking, all these fake sacrifices, you know, all this chemtrail, all this bad food, all the negativity is to keep you in fear. And when you indulge into spirituality, there is no fear because you're vibing so high there you can't fear. There's no such thing as fear. It's all love. And if you're thinking in a positive mind frame, you will forever be in love. You feel me? It's nothing demonic about spirituality. How they want you to believe, how they're getting paid to tell you it is. You feel me? These people are getting paid. They doing what they do because they are desperate for the money. Stop playing. You know, it's a lot of hungry people out there, and they're willing to do anything to steer you the wrong way. And you have to have a great mind of discernment, you know, to be able to understand and know what to pay attention to and what not to pay attention to. You feel me? You have to know these things. And you really have to, you know, want to know who you are. Because there's a lot of people out there that's living the fake Jesus life. You feel me? Because Jesus allows you to do whatever you want to do and have no guilt because he's going to cover your sins. When you're in spirituality, you take responsibility for what you do, for your actions. Therefore, you choose not to do stupid and low vibrational things off jump, which Jesus allows you to do stupid and low vibrational things every day you live your life because Jesus forgives you for your sins. You feel me? That's why people choose to live and love Jesus. And they're really not living it. They're just proclaiming it. You feel me? So they can get by with feeling like they're not going to an imaginary hell. You feel me? But yeah, I just wanted to share my testimony, and I thank Conjure Queen for even, and her spirits, you know, for even being as so bold as to challenge us to help others. You know what I'm saying? That's love, that's light. That's abundance. you know, and that's what spirituality is love, light, and abundance. I heard someone say it's not about love, light, and abundance, but that's what we come here for, is to love and to find our true selves and to live a better way so we don't have to try to do it again. You know what I'm saying? It's 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 learning yourself so you can be able to deal and cope with others. You know, it's learning your energy so you can be able to protect your energy, to be able to balance yourself. You feel me? To be able to work with the crystals and line up your chakras and feel your crown